The Paintballer just got a massive rework, buffing all of its stats, giving it a brand new ability, and much more. In this video, I'll be showcasing all the stat changes, uses, and capabilities of this tower, then give my personal ranking of how good it is. So hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. First off, they increased the placement cost from 400 to 600, but you can still get it on the first wave. At level 0, its damage was increased from 2 to 6, tripling its DPS from 1 to 3. At level 1, its total cost increased from 500 to 700 cash. Its damage increased from 2 to 6, its range increased from 13 to 15, and its DPS was increased from 1 to 3. At level 2, its total cost increased from 1000 to 1450 cash, and its damage was increased from 3 to 8, its explosion range increased from 3 to 4, and its DPS increased from 1.49 to 3.98. At level 3, its total cost increased from 1700 to 2500. Its damage increased from 3 to 8, its range increased from 15 to 16, its explosion range increased from 3 to 4, and its DPS increased from 1.99 to 5.31. At level 4, its total cost increased from 4200 cash to 5000 cash, and its damage increased from 5 to 12, its range increased from 15 to 16, its explosion range increased from 4 to 6, and its DPS increased from 4.96 to 11.90. But most importantly, it gained a brand new ability called Shadow Clone. When used, it temporarily summons 2 extra paintballers, essentially tripling its DPS. These Shadow Clones last for 6 seconds, and the ability has a cooldown of 25 seconds. Finally, at max level, its total cost increased from 7700 to 8500. Its damage was increased from 10 to 20, its range was increased from 15 to 18, its explosion range was increased from 5 to 8, and its DPS was increased from 9.92 to 19.84. Overall, the Paintballer has become much better, and this may be the biggest buff a tower has ever gotten. First off, its value has increased significantly. At level 0, it used to have a DPS cost ratio of 2.5, but now it has a value of 5, which is twice as good. Because it deals splash damage and has pretty impressive range, one level 0 Paintballer can actually last all the way until wave 7 in follow mode. That is as good as 3 golden scouts for the same price. That's incredible, especially considering the Paintballer used to not be able to defend a single wave by itself. On top of this, the Paintballer is a lot better at max level. Its DPS more than doubled up to 19.84, giving it a value of 2.33. That's not amazing value, but we need to consider 2 extra factors, that being that it deals splash damage and has a super powerful ability. Since the explosions did get bigger, against a crowd, I say it's safe to assume it's hitting around 3 enemies per shot. That alone triples its DPS up to 59.52. Then, if we use its ability, we once again triple its DPS up to an insane 178.56 DPS. That gives it a value of 21.01, which is ridiculous. While the ability only lasts for 6 seconds, that's usually more than enough to shred the majority of a wave. This makes the Paintballer a fantastic cheap option against crowds of enemies. Also, it has no placement limit, so in combination with its cheap price, this makes it super easy to spam. A genuine really good strategy is just to spam a whole bunch of Paintballers. It does struggle a lot with high health enemies though, as without or even with the ability, its value isn't that good if it isn't hitting multiple enemies. Still, I'd say this was a very well needed buff, and I love the fact that they gave us such an awesome ability. I'm gonna rank it as a high A tier, mainly because of how many uses it has. It's an amazing option for early game, but also performs great in the late game. The only big complaint I have with it is the fact that the ability is a little short and it doesn't have hidden detection. But let me know in the comments how you would rank it, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to join the Blue Head Mafia. Also, this entire video was just an April Fool's joke, so bye.